If a road trip is in your future, there's plenty to see and do right here in Illinois. And one new book puts the spotlight on many historic sites in our states. In today's Page Turners, it's Exploring the Land of Lincoln with author Charles Titus, an emeritus member of the History Department at Eastern Illinois University. Hey, Charles, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks, Tim.
Well, thanks for being here, and let's talk about what sort of inspired you to put all of these great places into one book, and then we'll talk about some of them specifically.
Okay. A long time ago, when I lived in Maryland and I taught out there, a friend of mine and I put a small book together about Maryland historical sites. So when I moved back to Illinois, which is my home state, I wanted to do something like that here. And after many, many years, I finally was able to do that. The other thing I think that inspired me was someone once said that, you know, Illinois is one big city and a lot of cornfields and wheat fields and soybean fields. And that's really not the case. So I sort of wanted to show in this book that there's really a lot more to Illinois. Those are parts of it, of course, but there's a lot more to the state than that.
Now, you have a background in history, and so I guess the question is, how is this different? I mean, there's history books and then there's like travel books. Is this kind of a combination of the two?
It is, exactly, Tim. And I've referred to it many times as a sort of an Illinois history / travel guide hybrid. And it kind of draws on the concept that geographers use of the idea of place and then human interaction with place. So I thought if we could look at a place, the history of a place, and then follow up by what's going on there now, we could kind of get a broader view of the dimensions of that location within a state.
Well, we obviously can't talk about all 20 that you've passed. That's why people have to buy the book, and we're encouraging you to do that. But what are a couple of the ones that stood out to you as maybe being a favorite or having an interesting story behind them?
Well, you know, that's sort of like asking which is your favorite kid,
child,
right?
Yeah. I know, I'm sorry.
So I like them all, right? But no, a couple that I found particularly intriguing were Nauvoo and Bishop Hill. And I found those intriguing because they are both examples of what you might call sectarian communities, religious sectarian communities in those two instances, where people sort of came with these ideas that they wanted to explore and put into place in these two communities. And neither of those worked out quite like the founders wanted them to. But they're both very rich in material culture with lots of buildings and other things that are there for people to see. Another site that I found especially intriguing was Cahokia Mounds down by St. Louis because there's still a kind of an air, an ambiance of mystery that hangs over that place. And despite all of the work that's been done there by the archaeologists and the anthropologists digging around with their spades and their trowels, there's still an awful lot that we don't know about that place. And so it kind of has an air of mystery about it, of something that was there so long ago.
Did you do any places that were just sort of naturally occurring? Obviously, you know, the Grand Canyon isn't located here, but places like that within the state?
Yeah, one that I did that, well, actually there's a cluster of them there, that were sort of in that category was Lincoln Log Cabin, the Moore Home, and the Shiloh Cemetery, all Lincoln-related sites. And they sort of were natural to me because they're right by where I live in Charleston, not very far away. And both of my daughters worked there as volunteers when they were kids. They have a wonderful youth program there. And that was one that sort of naturally came to me in a way. And its proximity probably was part of it.
Where is Six Flags Great America on your list? Is that anyway?
No, haven't done that one yet.
Maybe in the next book. Thank you. We appreciate it. And it sounds like a fascinating book, and I believe we're about to give one away.
Well, terrific. And thank you so much for having me.
We'll connect you with all the details on the book at our website. Just go to CILiving.tv.